Hi, I'm Viv of Hey Viv Retro Clothing, and I'm here today with Delia Vassar Semanchik. She's an artist, a teacher, and she works at Makerspace. Delia, why don't you tell us what you do at Makerspace?
Yeah, so I am an educational instructor at Makerspace. I do field trips and I also drive their steam wagon to schools for activities, and I also host workshops for families.
Okay. Well, we were talking recently because I've been going through my buttons, getting them ready to sell, and I've ended up with a lot of stray buttons that are beautiful, and I'd love to do something with them, but I didn't have any ideas, and I understand that you do something very clever with buttons, and why don't you show us what you do?
Yeah, so I make earrings out of buttons, and I'll show you some examples. So
Okay.
here we have a pair
Mhm.
that have all, different kinds of buttons on them. Then we also have this pair, which is somewhat similar, but there are some different buttons at the bottom.
Okay.
So yeah, I like to make earrings out of buttons. It's a good way to use them. And to make earrings with buttons, what you need is something called a head pin. And this is what you would use to stack your buttons on.
Okay.
And that has that flat bottom to keep them on it.
Okay.
You also need a earring hook,
Mhm.
and an optional, you can have a jump ring, and that will just help connect your earring hook to your head pin.
Okay. And where do you get these supplies?
So I found these supplies at Michael's,
Mhm.
and you can find them at any craft store. Even Joann's has it as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you how I kind of put together a pair of earrings. So
Okay.
take my head pin, and I have a couple different kinds of buttons, and I chose mostly red buttons with this one yellow one. So I'm going to put the yellow one on first because I found that the head pin, it sits nicely on the pin. Sometimes the hole of the button is too big, so
Mhm.
you need to find a button that will sit nicely on your head pin. And
Okay.
then I will just stack, different buttons. You could also incorporate beads into your earrings.
Mhm.
As you saw, one of the pairs had that purple bead in it. So you can really get creative and, change up. It's like I like how that looks. But
Oh,
if I didn't, you can
it
just
kind of
switch.
moves too.
Mhm. Yeah. And so once I've stacked all my buttons and I like how it looks, I also take my needle nose pliers. And this is a trick to get the earring hook onto the earrings. So I just take my needle nose pliers and
Mhm.
I just bend this over just like this. So now you have that little hook
Oh,
right.
okay.
Yeah. And then how I attach, you can either just put your earring hook right in there. So I left a little opening so I could get it in there. And then you can close it.
And
But
just
sometimes I find that having a jump ring in between the head pin and the earring hook kind of makes them more dangly, and
oh,
they'll be more free moving.
dangly, dangly. But how do you make a matching earring if you only have like maybe one or two buttons?
So as you can see, like these,
Hmm.
they have the similar color palette, so
Right.
they're complementary to each other. So it's okay to have mismatch earrings because they're kind of funky and they look good together.
Oh, okay. So you
How
can mix and match them.
Yeah, and like these, have the similar bead, but then they have, different down here. So they look similar, but they are mismatched. But I think that's the beauty of making these earrings.
That is so cool. Thank you, Delia. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Of course.
Now we have something to do with all our beautiful spare buttons. And if people want to see more about your artwork, you're on Facebook and Instagram, and I think it's the same tag. What is that?
Yeah, so my tag is very Delia. It's very Delia.
Okay, so
And you
at
can find
Very
me on
Delia.
Facebook and Instagram.
Great. Well, thank you, Delia, for coming and talking to us
Of course.
today. And I'm Vivian Vassar. This is Delia Vassar Semanchik, and this is Ask Someone Who Knows. Thank you.